Protests against ICE deportations and many of President Trump's policies are sparking a nationwide day of protest, including right here in Lexington. Streets and sidewalks covered in mud, homes and businesses destroyed, and many people left with only the clothes on their back. This is hazard after yet another major flood. Just to show you how quickly conditions can change, I was driving here down Kentucky Route 11, and not even 20 minutes had passed before I turned around to come back this way, only to find the road covered in water, making it completely impassable. This is what's left of the Westland Estate neighborhood in Laurel County after the tornado ripped through southern Kentucky. What's left is nothing but debris of where people once called home. Now local and state officials are assessing the damage and spreading a message of resiliency and hope as people work to get back on their feet. It's a big night for the GOP, the annual Jessamine County Republican Party's Lincoln Day dinner. But perhaps one of the biggest questions left after tonight, though, is if Representative Andy Barr plans to run for U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell's seat in 2026. While we didn't get a direct answer, some pretty big hints were dropped. More than 1,000 wins over a 38-season-long coaching career. Tonight, Scott County High School is making sure the memory and legacy of Coach Billy Hicks will never be forgotten. Some of the rides here at the fair, like Nemesis 360, which goes upside down, are referred to as super rides, and they have tester seats available for riders to test their comfort before they test their stomachs. A Franklin County man accused of killing his children has now been indicted for murder and arson. 43-year-old Dustin Fields was first arrested in April after the bodies of his 2 teenage sons and a dog were found inside his burned home. This week, a grand jury indicted him on 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of torture of a dog, and 1 count of first-degree arson. The ATF says investigators spent 4 days sifting through more than 7,000 pounds of fire debris. Fields' bond is set at $2 million. Israeli warplanes pounded Iran's capital overnight and into Wednesday as President Trump gave his strongest indication yet that the U.S. could be drawn deeper into the conflict. Fox News chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst has more from Tel Aviv. New tonight, a juvenile is behind bars after leading police on a chase in Nelson County. New tonight, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has launched a new website to help keep Kentuckians informed about flood response efforts across the state. The site includes up-to-date information and resources for those in need throughout the state. Kentuckians can find information about water safety to cleanup guidance for flooded homes. The website also includes a link to additional help from FEMA. The EPA is coordinating with the Kentucky Department for Environmental Protection, which has reported power outages impacting wastewater and drinking water treatment plants. Pasta positivity, a fashion farewell, and a close call in California.
Here are 5 things to know before you go to bed.
If you think pasta makes you happier, you're right. A new Italian study backed by Barilla found pasta can actually boost your mood. Researchers say it reduces stress, especially when shared during family meals or social gatherings. 41% of participants associated pasta with family, and 21% tied it to positive emotions. The study, published in Food Science and Nutrition, shows food isn't just about nutrition, it's also about connection. A Lexington road running between Tates Creek Road and Old Richmond Road has residents raising safety concerns after seeing numerous serious car accidents happen there. Today, I spoke to a woman who lives on the road and is hoping to see some changes be made before anyone else is involved in a life-changing accident. The scenic views of DeLong Road in Lexington are hard to beat, but it's become the scene of multiple serious car accidents and ones that have even turned deadly.
My husband has actually had to run out and do chest compressions on people that didn't make it.
Renee Nims has been living on the road for 13 years and says there are several contributing factors to these recurring accidents. From people going well above the 35-mile-per-hour speed limit to careless drivers. But the condition of the road is one of the biggest issues.
There isn't a shoulder, but now you also have pieces along the edge where it's crumbling and there isn't a full width of lane. Cars either end up in the fence, they just keep going, or they overcorrect and they go into oncoming traffic, which is often going too fast.
DeLong Road was part of a June 2022 study from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet that looked at potential improvements to the road. Nim says the city came out and built up the shoulder on a nearby curve in the fall, but that hasn't solved the issue. So she started posting on TikTok. She says there were 3 accidents in just over a week.
I have been documenting
Sadly, accidents happening on DeLong Road, another one right in front of my house. And when I say that this is a dangerous road, this is precisely why. And the impact was so severe that her belongings in her car were thrown up into my driveway several yards, and the car was almost like caved in half.
Her videos are receiving thousands of views, and people in the comments are even sharing their experiences of car accidents on the road, about people who were able to walk away and ones who weren't so lucky. NIMS hopes that by speaking out, DeLong Road will get the attention it needs to properly get fixed.
I would love the city to come out and make some changes that are just feasible, right? Add a shoulder and fix the road. It was never milled down sufficiently. I think if drivers understood what we see, that they would change their driving habits out here on this road.
We reached out to Mayor Gorton's office for a comment on the condition of the road. A spokesperson said the city asked the State Highway Safety Group to assess the stretch from Tate's Creek to Old Richmond Road, but that final report hasn't been submitted yet. They added that upgrades were made near Tate's Creek last summer after a rise in crashes, and more improvements could follow once the state's recommendations come in.
I understand their frustration. Believe me, I'm frustrated because we've got ice on streets still.
Mayor Linda Gorton is looking back on the city's handling of Winter Storm Blair. She says the biggest issue wasn't the snow, it was the ice, which she says can't be plowed. And many roads around the city are still covered in ice. At Thursday's Urban County Council meeting, Councilwoman Whitney Elliott Baxter apologized to her constituents, saying she feels like the city failed them. But Mayor Gorton doesn't quite see it like that. Would you say the city failed its residents in response to this storm?
I don't think we failed our residents. I think that people are frustrated because, for one thing, we just had the holidays, kids were out of school, and then we had the storm right on top of it. Had it been all snow, we would have been cleared off and good to go. The part that we didn't expect was the ice.
The new plan includes enlisting additional help from parks workers and private contractors and purchasing 5 snow plows and salt spreaders to go on trucks the city already has.
They'll be about almost $70,000. We can find that in our budget. What we need the council to do is we want to purchase 3 of the big tanker trucks.
Those come in at more than $600,000 and can take up to 9 months to be delivered. Even with the additional resources, there's still no guarantee that every road in the city will get cleared.
The expectation is that we don't plow every street, ever. We've never plowed every street.
The current street rankings prioritize emergency routes and high-traffic roadways. Some bus routes are on that list, but not all of them.
We knew what the latest requests were for bus routes. Those went on the list. We also were talking every day with folks at the Fayette County Public Schools, and they were telling us other roads that they thought needed plowed that weren't on any rankings.
Now, as Lexington prepares for another round of winter weather, the mayor reassures residents that the city is prepared and that the people and the government are in this together. In Lexington, Jace, Fox 56 News.
My son was a kind and gentle soul. He did not deserve to die this violent death.
Through her grief, Lorelei Yoakum is demanding answers after the unexpected death of her son, 28-year-old Clay Wooten.
On November the 2nd, he was admitted to UK after he had a mental episode. He had a mental breakdown. And he was in the psych ward where he was restrained, medicated. There was 3 guards at the door. And we were told that they were going to send him on to Eastern State.
But instead, for an unknown reason, she says her son was moved to a less secure part of the hospital. On November 3rd, in broad daylight, in a hospital gown and with no shoes on, he escaped and ran toward the train tracks here on Transcript Avenue, right across the street from UK Hospital. His mother says it wasn't more than 20 minutes until UK police picked him up.
Brought Clay back to the hospital in a pickup truck, and he was unconscious. He had black eyes and fatal head wounds that he later died of.
Wooten was an organ donor, and was officially pronounced dead the next day.
How beautiful heaven must be.
In a statement to Fox 56, UK hospital confirmed that police responded to the incident, saying in part that the hospital is limited on what they could talk about out of respect for the family. Now, Yoakum is pleading with the community to help get her some answers.
Look at your Ring cameras. If there are any apartment buildings, construction sites that might have footage of this area from November the 3rd, please go back and review that, because I know that someone knows what happened to my son.
A GoFundMe has been set up to help pay for medical and legal expenses, but this grieving mother says she won't rest until she gets justice for Clay.
I know that someone has information, and we're just going to keep asking questions until we get those answers.
He loved his family. He loved us all, and we loved him.
Jace Obardo, Fox 56 News. Yeah, guys, definitely a lot of happy UK fans, and a lot of them who claim to be the biggest UK fan. But one Elizabethtown man might take the cake. He's not only hoping the Wildcats make it all the way, he's hoping they'll help him celebrate his 104th birthday. Wayne Hayes is a husband, a father, a World War II Army veteran, and he's a huge UK basketball fan.
Bingo! Hey!
And with his 104th birthday coming up in April, he has one wish.
My birthday wish is to get out of bed first. At 104, you don't move too fast.
Actually, make that 2 wishes.
Oh, I'm looking forward to meeting some of the UK guys. I'd like to meet Pope.
He says he's been a UK fan for 80 years, so he's seen a lot of players and coaches put on blue and white. But there's something special about head coach Mark Pope.
I love his manner. I love his attitude. He's able to manipulate his players for the time and situation.
Hayes' love for the team is infectious and has spread throughout his home at Robin Brooks Senior Living.
Everybody is just super excited and hoping that it works out for them, for him, but I think they're also hoping they get the opportunity to meet him as well. So we hope the whole team comes.
Through all the ups and downs of the season, he's kept faith in the team that he's loved for decades. To know how he does it, look no further than the 8 words on his shirt. Jesus is my Savior, Pope is my coach.
The life that I live is tried to live as a Christian person. And the life that I live as a basketball fan, it melds the two together. I think it goes well. I put it back on for this because of the message that it says. It's not only for me, it's for the world.
As the Wildcats head into the Sweet 16 round of the tournament, Hayes has some words of encouragement for the team that will hopefully carry them all the way to the championship.
You got enough to do it. You got the skill to do it. And all you have to do is give it all you got.
Fingers crossed that his birthday wish comes true. But if you'd like to help Wayne celebrate his birthday, which is on April 13th, head to this story on our website, fox56news.com, to find the address of where you can send him a birthday card. Allie.